I remember when I was starting to write the book, and that was last year, January 2025. I had joined this writing group, and we were starting to understand like the scenes of things and how we kind of like the layout of the book to be, who's going to be the characters in the book. And my book, what I've written, is basically like a spiritual memoir. So I've never done this before. I write a lot in my journal. So as I was going back, looking at my journal entries and writing things down, my very first draft of the book that I turned in in June was very much kind of like coming from an objective, like looking at it from outside and saying, oh, this is what I experienced. This is um, what me and my dad went through. This is what I was going through with my friend Kate at this time, my partner Ian. And so it was really more like that. So it was kind of very interesting when one of the editors read back to me one of the chapters. Maybe she read like 4 or 5 paragraphs. And it really allowed me to see that when we are writing in our head, we see the scenes, right? We were there, we remember what was going on, we saw what was happening. So it wasn't that easy to put that into words. And when she read it back to me, it was like the penny dropped, because I realized that I wasn't putting my personal experience into it. I was just telling a story from someone watching a scene, basically. And when we sat down after the first draft and I said, it would be really nice to see if you can bring yourself into that, the vulnerability that I felt was incredible, because what happened is that now the story was becoming about my experience versus what I was seeing, what we did, really practical things, right? Now I had to sit down and go through chapter over chapter over chapter, putting in my emotions. And it's been one of the biggest gifts that I've ever had given to me, is to sit down and look at what I was really feeling. Going back, seeing that, remembering certain scenes, remembering words, conversations, emotions, things that maybe I brushed under the carpet. I mean, I've sat on my couch many days crying when I thought about some of the things that I experienced when I was writing this book. So I think when we write, the biggest gift that we can give ourselves is really vulnerability. Being able to sit with ourselves and look at every aspect and not try to brush it under the carpet, just be.